Hey, Tommy!
Yeah.
Tommy!
Yeah.
Dude, look at this. Does this look straight to you?
I don't know, dude. I used the eagle eyes. Looks straight to me.
The eagle eyes, dude. What are the eagle eyes, dude?
Straight. It's straight, dude.
Frick! Hey guys, me Tone, I'm back. This is day one of episode 3, the Heavy D Treehouse build. Guys, I'm super excited because in this episode we are doing some cool, detailed things on this treehouse, and it's really starting to take shape. So many details, and like I said, the structure is so abnormal, it's so crazy, it's fallen over, it's an old mine shack, and so things aren't easy on this. It's pretty hard. So we're going to talk about the siding, the colors, the timber frames that we're going to tie into this. I had a couple questions about timber frames. Why isn't the thing timber framed? Well, we went with the hybrid option because these walls are crazy and the structure is crazy, and so we could probably do it with timber frame, but it just was not realistic. So guys, stay tuned because we're going to take you on another wild ride. And we are excited, so excited for this upcoming project. So stay tuned. Gotta have a sign. On every project you gotta have a sign. So this one we're gonna call the Sparks Old Mine Shack with Trespassers Beware, with the old pick and axe kind of a mine theme. So when things get difficult, I call on the real boss to help me out. Who's this? This is my wife, Jenny. She does not like being on camera.
I do not like being on camera.
But, as you can see, the real artist.
Right. As I'm using Word.
She's using Word. Hey, we do what we gotta do. So the design that my wife just helped me with, we bring over into the computer here, and I'm gonna finish designing it and setting it up for this piece of wood that's on the table. This is a Maverick 4x8 CNC machine, and yeah, I haven't been running it long, but from what I do know and what I have learned, I love the machine. So I don't consider myself to be a professional yet. It's just one of those things where an opportunity came along. I snatched at the opportunity and I've been teaching myself, and man, the possibilities are endless on a CNC machine. So pretty cool side of the business, and we're gonna make a sign for the old mine shack. So I designed it on this computer, and I take her design. She did the letters and the words, and I can take it into my program. And that's what it's going to look like on the wood. So we will move it from this computer over to this one. So now we need to gauge our material height. Which, once it hits that metal, it sends an electric pulse down through it. Comes up. Set it to home. And then back over. Hit OK. Okay guys, as you can see behind me, this thing is coming to life, and the plywood really makes this thing pop. Now we're gonna cut the fascia in on the barges. Barges are the front fascia on the gable ends. So I'm going to take you through the process on how we're going to do that. We're going to do a 2-step fascia, and we're going to use the heavy D island wood that we pulled off of Fremont Island that I talked about in our first episode. So here we go. So I first started with my cut with just a circular saw, but if you notice into the corners you can't get all the way. So there's a couple ways of doing it. This is an oscillator saw. Works good. We call it a vibrator saw because it vibrates. Or do it the old school way with a pole saw. We use these a lot in timber framing, and this is an old Japanese pole saw, so it cuts on the pole rather than the push. I like the pole saw. Notice it's not very hard to do the pole. And if you work a lot with push saws, you notice they always get caught up. There's a fine tooth and a more coarse tooth. There you have it. Now we've got our notch for our ridge beam. Hey guys, I'm here with Dave Sparks, and as you've seen in our first 2 episodes, we have started his treehouse, and it's awesome. So just real quick, we're gonna run down what we're gonna do with the finishes. So Dave, what do you think so far, man? Is it crazy or what?
I mean, look at this, dude. Like the fact that you are able to make something in real life to make it look like a cartoon is fascinating to me. I mean, it literally looks like it came out of like a fairy tale. The bowed roof, nothing on this thing is square or straight, which is, in most construction stories, that would not be a good thing. In this case, we're pumped to see all sorts of wacky angles, all sorts of curves. Nothing on this thing is in square, which is exactly how we want it.
You guys said earlier we want to do a timber frame up in the gable.
Yeah.
Kind of match the house.
So my goal is to make it look as much like a miner shack as possible. So miners, obviously, one thing they didn't have is a lot of time and a lot of money. So miner shacks are literally just slapped together because the guy was only planning on being there until he found gold. So
and he didn't have a level either.
Yeah, he didn't have a level. He didn't have resources. He just, whatever he had local, he just threw it together. So I want it to look like a freaking potluck dinner. Whatever a miner could find. So I want some corrugated tin, definitely for the roof. I think I have some in my shop. I gotta check see how much I have. And then the siding, I don't want any new product on this.
Yeah. No.
I was even thinking about using ghost wood, but ghost wood's too nice. I could talk to Nate up there and maybe see if he could rough some up for me, and I also have some left over from my house. Some of the red accents, we might want to use a little bit of ghost wood. I want some red to match the house. I want it to look like a miniature cartoon version of our house, which would also be a miner shack. So there's kind of a weird style that we're looking for, but I think you're already onto it with like the trim for the eaves and everything right there. So
yeah, and this is the island wood that we pulled off the island, and I think in episode 1 I talked about the history of that, the 2 railroads coming together. It's so cool, dude.
That stuff's got a lot of meaning.
Hard. It's petrified, dude. It's like, what do we call it? Pickled,
yeah, it's pickled wood. And we have a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that wood, too.
Yeah,
all the time we spent out there harvesting it, so
I was thinking, dude, it's time to go get some more of that.
I know. I'm gonna want some, I don't know, I think I might do vertical siding on this one, dude. Just like board and bat, and then have it be just super rustic reclaimed stuff. Maybe even cut some siding out of like the island wood.
Yeah.
The problem with that is we'll have to pickle it to make it look like, a weathered finish. So I got to go home and work on that. I got to figure out what siding I want to use. I have a bunch left over from the house, so I'll spend some time figuring out what I want to use there.
So when you say you're going to go home and work on this, dude, are we talking 1 month, 2 months?
This means my wife is so anxious to get this thing installed before the end of summer, so I got to get on it right away.
Dude, I can see you having a couple sleepovers in this thing.
And dude, honestly, if I don't get back to you within 5 days, just do it. You know what I like.
All right.
That's what I love about Anton, guys. Building our house, I was so damn busy filming the show that I didn't really have time to work on it. I was just like, dude, just make it look good. And he did. I trusted him to be able to do it. That's why I'm still here, and that's why we're still buddies and work together, because ultimately he knows what I like, and I think he's got the ability to figure that out for most customers. A lot of customers they know kind of what they want, but they don't know how to get there. And Anton's like, hold my chocolate milk, I got this. So
he instills a lot of faith in us.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Inside, we're going to want it to be a little bit more, obviously, weather tight and sealed and like less slivery for the kids. So inside might be a good chance to use some ghost wood.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I have some tongue and groove left over. I just want the inside to feel cozy, but at the same time not so rough that, I mean, we have some pieces of wood at the house where Mac will bump his hand on it and get a sliver because it's like so rugged.
Well, that's why I thought we use that smooth.
Yeah, with them playing in there.
Throw some carpet down on the floor.
Definitely.
Up in the wall. I brought a real live kid, dude, to try this out.
Yeah, that's for scale.
So, yeah, Barrett's helping us out with the scale. And obviously it's up 10 inches, dude. What do you say? Give him a thumbs up, buddy.
Like it?
You want one of these? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, are you thinking for the deck, or you want to use cross members like what we did for my other deck, or are you going to use just random, like standard 2x6?
Yeah, let's, I'll show you what we got over here, dude. Talking about using this material for the floor, leaving the live edge on the bottom and cutting it down. Like you said, dude, the miners didn't have much, but we started out with the tree.
Right.
So I kind of wanted something to go with it, and these are some of those guys that we got up from Peterson.
Yeah, I like that idea. So these will actually be floor joists.
Yeah, so big, beefy. They're like 2.5 inches, and
I like that. I'm so stoked, dude.
And then, like, inside that hut, we'll have a solid, like, plywood floor that will carpet. On the outside, we'll do like a cedar decking.
Okay.
With some spacing, so when it rains and stuff.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Dave's getting technical.
Yeah,
maybe
just
the cedar. I do have some oak. Oak could be some planks like this, dude, that are great.
Yeah, I think those could be good for
sand them up and knock the edges down, you know.
Have that be like the decking.
Yeah, that's like Russian, or that's it's like the stuff that just on the hillside behind you. What's it called? Scrub oak. Scrub oak.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big scrub oak.
Wow.
So
now I'm torn. Now there's too many options is the problem. There's
it's
so
like
many
kid in a
different
candy
species of
store
wood
here, dude.
So much of this, like I have so much like memories with, so much connection to. Like this island wood. That was like a whole week worth of like scrambling and grinding, trying to get stuff off the island in the middle of the Great Salt Lake. So it's so much more than just a piece of wood. I want to integrate it and use it, but at the same time, I want to make sure we use it for the right project. So I'm sure we'll tie some of that in, and then you know how I am, dude. I'm always looking for new sources for reclaimed material. So I'm sure I'll find something new that I want to use too. The problem is now my whole day is thrown off because I come up here and this is all I'm going to be able to think about for the rest of the day through tomorrow and then the next day. But it's a priority because Ashley wants this thing done like soon. She's all excited about it. So I'm on it. You're on it. You're moving faster than I am.
Well, like I said, after we get the finishes done, the next step is, okay, we'll get the floor done, get it up to your house, and then we got to strategically plan on how we're going to get this thing up on top of that tree, dude.
That's something I specialize in, is moving big, heavy stuff. So we'll get that figured out. Not too worried about that part.
All right, well, I'll let you help me with that.
See, I'll get you some answers. Looks good.
Sweet.
As usual.
I think we're day 4, day 5 working on this treehouse for Dave Sparks. As you saw, he just came to the shop. We went over finishes, and now I'm down here at his location down here, their shop, and we're getting ready to load some metal that we're going to use on this project. And as you saw, he wants just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, so we're going to use this old metal here for the roof, standing seam metal, nice patina on it, looks awesome. I'm gonna use this stuff on the walls, maybe a wainscot. That rigid corrugated stuff looks pretty cool. Okay, we're up here at Dave's, and we have found a truckload of treasures. Rob, what do you got in there, dude?
What you got, man? You name it, we got it.
Where's this stuff coming from?
Leftover like baseboard from the house.
Look at that stuff, dude.
Gotta use that.
That's freaking gnarly. I love that stuff. And then the leftover, some siding. So we were talking about this red kind of using up in the gables. Distressing it a little bit more. Grinder. And using that in the gables behind the timbers. Got some more trim up there. Some old island wood.
Let's just drive this thing down to the shop.
Yeah, dude, let's just take the box trailer down. Or the box truck.
Yeah.
Dude, there's still a ton of good wood in there. We could do 5 tree houses. Actually, I better not give them any ideas.
You're gonna have a whole little village up there.
Bailey, you getting that flattened out? So we got our metal. We got a good pile of wood going. Some ghost wood and some barn wood and some... I think there's a little of everything in there. Good stuff. Up here at Dave's house, as you can see here, and this is the tree. This is where we're putting the house. Dude, Rob, how many yards of concrete, dude, did you guys put in this thing?
50,000 pounds of concrete should do it.
50,000. So what was that in yards?
13 yards, 12 and a half yards.
12 and a half yards of concrete. We wrapped the base with tar paper to protect the wood because we don't want to get any water down there. And I went up and shoved the thing, dude. I don't think it's gonna move, but we stick what, 4,000 or 5,000 pounds up there, dude, it'll twist.
Oh yeah.
So oh, I know, man. So we're up here on the rock wall. We're thinking bridge here up into the floor. So we'll probably end up taking about 3 feet down off that tree. So many possibilities up here. Then we're talking zip line down across the pool. Be cool. I'm gonna run you down through the steps and processes up to this point, and what we've done so far. So we went and got that metal that I talked about from the shop. This is awesome corrugated metal, rustic. They've been using it in their shop, and he loves to use that stuff everywhere, incorporate it. So we're incorporating that in the treehouse. And when I was with Rob here the other day, he's got some siding experiences. We better make sure we flash it right. So I know this is a tree house, but I'm gonna go through what we did. So corrugated metal on the wall, behind the moldings. I know it's not necessarily maybe the right way, but we wanted them behind the moldings because of the kids, and we didn't want any sharp edges. So then we made a flashing that went over the corrugated steel for moisture purposes. And we're living in a very dry climate. We're not in Washington State. We're not in Oregon. We don't get a lot of rain, but every once in a while we do. So we wanted to take those precautions. So we've got the house wrap, step flashing or Z-metal or homemade flashing, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got a bichetane here. And technically you're supposed to slice that house wrap and slip that back behind there and then flash it. We just did this for right now. The windows, because these windows are hard, we're kind of building them into the hole, so we flashed behind with the bichetane, and then we put the corrugated steel and we put another layer of bichetane or metal angle. So if any water does get behind the window frames, they can go down. Everything runs downhill, right? And then we put the wood over the top just to kind of finish it out nice here. In the front, like we talked the other day with Dave, he came out to the shop and we talked about the finishes. We've got our metal, then we overlapped it with the lap siding, and this is that island wood from not Antelope Island, but Fremont Island, the old trestle wood. And then these are from those pads that they've been using to get machinery unstuck. We've cut those up and used them as headers. And we're gonna finish them off with some fake dowel holes, just extra details. And then up here in the gable, if you can see, we did in the soffit, we did 2 inches, so you got a 2-inch cavity, and then we did the soffits, all decorative, and that is ghost wood from our buddy Nate Bean. That dude is awesome. Look him up, Montana Ghost Wood. They pump out a cool product. So they take new wood, distress it, make it look old. So then we've done some trim. This is ghost wood trim. And these angles are so funky and so crazy. The house looks like it's starting to fall over. So we did the trim up tight, and it kind of hides all our unevenness. And this is some more ghost wood. These are up in the gables at Dave's house, and we'll kind of match that. We'll probably still wire wheel it a little bit to make it look a little more rustic, but it's got the saw marks in it, which makes it really cool. And then I wanted to stagger the edge, so we put a layer of bituthane over this lap siding, and then came over staggered edge, right, to give it more detail. If you notice here on top of the headers, we've also got some tin that we made. If any water gets behind this, hits that and comes out, kicks it away from the window. So we try to properly flash it. Same with the drip edge up here on the roof. We made our own drip edge out of the old corrugated steel. So even though it looks like it's fallen over, looks like it's run down, and looks like the thing's a mess, hodgepodge awesomeness is more like it, we're still doing the right procedures to try to preserve the building at least longer than I'm around, and Dave and Ashley, and maybe their kids and their kids. So this is the process, and yet we've still got a lot to do.
We added multiple textures to this building. We did the ghost wood around the lower section of the casing of the windows, and then we used the island wood that was from Dave's place. We had to remove some pieces out of Dave's house and put new pieces in. He changed the plans on that, and it was hand hewn, so this is actually originally from Dave's house. Put it behind the siding, put decorative dowels in, and eventually we're going to put a whole entire casing around the inside.
So talking with Rob, we decided that he probably is going to want electrical in this unit before we put the tongue and groove and the ghost wood and all the fancy trims and the loft and everything. So we got a little proactive and decided to put electrical in this. And as you can see, we've got wires everywhere. We're going to have cans in the ceiling, 4 cans. And if you notice, and I'm going to point with my tape, the wires up high, insulation. And then we're going to have the tongue and groove here create a cavity in the roof. So there will be a little more space, but you will see the bottom of these rafters, so it'll still be decorative. And then as Rob was running that by Dave said, oh yeah, great. But can we do our smart home stuff in it? So it might get a little crazier than even what we're doing, but cans in the ceiling, lanterns out at the ridge beam that we want to put lights in as well. Maybe a light outside. We're going to have power above the loft here and power below the loft. And then we're also going to run all this over into an electrical panel down below here so we can access that here, and then down below we'll tie the power in. Hope you enjoyed this awesome episode. We've done a lot of work. The finishes are coming to life on this tree house, and this is what we've got left. We've got the windows, we've got the interior to finish, and then the floor system. And then we're gonna put it on a truck and haul it down to Dave's in the next episode. I'm super excited for what we've got next, so stay tuned, and we're gonna give you guys a lot more. Does this look straight to you?
Looks straight to me. Looks straight to me. Looks straight to me.
You took it off me too.
Looks straight to me.